gentlemen, welcome once again to the City of Doors, Sigil Confidential. We have a few stragglers. Hey, here for funsies, right on. We're getting all kinds of cool people joining us. Yeah, we have a couple stragglers just pulling in, and we'll get started right away. So bear with us. This is episode 1 of our newest adventure, Important Details. This is actually going to be the beginning of a bit of a whodunit mystery type thing, so keep an ear out and an eye out. We'll see if maybe you guys can figure it out before our players do. That should be interesting. Yes, good evening for Master Mess, for those of you who are only listening.
Good evening.
And of course, there's Draken, for those of you who are listening and watching. So, look at that. Here they come.
Hey.
Hey. It's all good. Just in time. We just went live. In fact, have not done a recount yet, in case you had one stashed.
I have a little one stashed.
Well, you are more than welcome to take the floor, my dear.
All right. So, last time on Sigil Confidential, the Stapleton Detective Services crew were spending a relaxing day at the office, while Jimmy was putting the final touches on closing up shop. Neil expressed interest in the Sign of One and went off to inquire about them with Master in tow. Casey, feeling homesick, decided to go back to the Forgotten Realms, his home world. So, Jimmy and Watts were the only ones in the office when the ghost materialized for a visit, after a comedic chase through the streets that led Jimmy to realize that Kong had returned to Sigil, and after Draken came back from his shopping trip as well, an imp named Tavarius came knocking on the door. Not accepting that Stapleton Detective Services was no longer operating, he asked the crew to find the Burke who murdered his master and made sure they didn't operate in the city again. Meanwhile, a Yuan-Ti pureblood put their foot in the door and came demanding that they worked here now. And there was nothing the crew could say or do about it, so they cut him a deal. Come to the site tomorrow, and we'll see how you work. And that is where we left off, where with the crew making plans and adjourning to go to the site the next day to meet with Tavarius off of Lord's Row in the ladies' ward to get all the details of the murder.
Very good. Very good. And welcome, players. Welcome, viewers. We actually have some celebrities in the audience tonight. Not to put any pressure on anyone. Massacred Muse and Here for Funsies. Both definitely celebrities within the gaming community. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Don't worry, I'm not prone to stage fright. Don't check my hands. They're not shaking, I swear.
DM equals the butler. Well, yeah, there's a strange, sad truth to that statement.
The butler sometimes did it. The DM always did it.
The DM always did it. So yeah, that's an excellent introduction as always. Thank you very much, Prem. Watts's player will be sitting out this evening. She's enduring some real life things today, but she'll be back next time. So we'll ghost her along in the meantime in case her skills are needed. That's a big well done on the recap there from the audience, by the way, Prem.
Thank you, y'all. I'm more prepared most nights, but tonight's been a little hectic for all of us.
It's the episode 1 jitters. Speaking of. Speaking of. So I know we'll start kind of where we left off, more or less, here at the office. The goal, I know, was to go on down to the Gambinelli estate.
I'm so glad that you led with the name of the murdered fellow, because I had completely forgotten it, apart from that it began with a G for alliterative purposes. So I showed up completely ready to begin referring to our, our dear departed interest here as the great Glob Glob Gab Galab.
The G-Man.
I was ready for it.
The G-Man.
But is it the next morning, or is it exactly where we left off in the evening?
Unless somebody had anything they wanted to do between last evening and this morning, we can go ahead and accelerate time.
I did have one thing.
Okay.
So Ishtu arrived and was making these claims. How did you roll a token? What?
That was an accident. Ignore that.
You flip it like a coin.
It's the mechanics of how her token shifts.
Token functions.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it was really funny to me.
Rolled a token.
Didn't do choose sides, so yeah.
She tripped on the stairs. It's okay.
That happened.
I rolled a d4 and it came up the ghost.
Flashback to initiative of Pi.
Yeah. So, one thing I wanted to do, Ishtu showed up here claiming that we should have received a letter from Nil and the Master regarding her whole deal. So, I wanted to try and get in touch with them or secure this letter. I'm mostly concerned that, Ishtu does not seem particularly trustworthy.
It's the Yuan-Ti thing, huh? I tell you this. Did the Master and Nil actually send a letter, Master Miss? In that case, by morning, a courier will arrive with said letter.
All right. Master Miss, would you care to reveal to me what the letter says?
For those of you at home, Master Miss is not on mic. She will be typing in the chat box there. So keep an eye out. You'll miss something very important.
This is a multimedia stream.
Well, that we all know Master Miss is actually the one who did it.
Yes. Yes, these are true facts. Engineer a murder to get hired by an investigative agency.
It would not be the first time I have turned a player against their party.
No, but no.
I have done some evil things. I do not apologize.
That'd make a good DM t-shirt. I have done evil things. I do not apologize.
No.
It's all fun and games. You get a TPK, and then it's hilarious.
I did almost feel bad about the Halloween episode year before this one. You guys just had such a hard time.
That was a rough one. Yeah.
And you came into it so lighthearted too. It was payback for the Get That Pie adventure.
Yeah, Get That Pie was just too much fun. I'm preparing myself. Nil is typing remains in the chat. I'm ready for Big Posty.
This could be interesting. Screw you guys. I hate you all. I hope you die. sent this person specifically to kill you.
Yes. I'm off to discover the secret of the universe, basically. I have sent a Yuan Ti to occupy my spot / kill you.
Oh, there you go. Here, I'll read it out loud for the sake of the listeners. I have left the investigative agency to pursue other interests. For the time being, I am sending you a rather interesting character. Someone I think can assist you to recover the loss of personnel as Master and I depart on this quest. I will tell you more of it later, Jimmy. Many plates spin. I will see you on the other side of one of them, hopefully very soon.
Ominous.
Jimmy, sitting at the front desk, reading the letter. Am I going to die? Are they going to die?
I mean, eventually. Oh, you guys got a reroll there. Thank you. Massacred Muse. Get it, players.
Ah, well. I always had the feeling Nil was a bit too smart for this place.
Very true. Very true. We have master typing now. I'm just waiting to see what comes of this.
I'm hoping for a master postscript.
Yeah. P.S. I really do hate you guys.
Oh my god.
Yes. Go to hell, Draken.
And you may have noticed, I'm actually gone this time. I cannot leave Nil's side in this quest, so I will be exiting for a moment. But I'll pack back up eventually. And you won't see me then, either.
That's such a master letter.
That makes Jimmy believe it. Up to this point, it could have easily been a forgery, but no, that's pretty right.
That's spot on. You can't forge that. Can't forge attitude.
That stings. That stings. Now we're down to just one kind of invisibility.
So, that at least smooths out the Istu.
Does.
So what is the plan from here? Former Stapleton Investigative Agency.
Well, I don't believe we arranged a particular time to arrive at the spot in the Lord's Row.
I think it was just in the morning, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we just kind of said in the morning. Okay, so Istu is here. Good.
Yes.
Good.
Leaning on the wall coolly.
I thought the agreement was that Istu would meet everyone at the investigation site.
Yes. I have a feeling that Istu is not the type to keep to agreements generally.
Istu does what Istu wants. Oh, the wall outside. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
So, I don't know. I don't remember if we covered. How are we on the pronoun situation this time, Master Miss?
They, them.
Good. Good enough.
All right. So, I believe that leaves just... Here, we'll move Draken into the room, unless you'd rather not be. I believe that's just the three of you in the office.
Yeah. I am okay with that, being in there with Jimmy and Watts.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Watts is staring at a particularly interesting spot on the wall.
Is this one a portal to the elemental plane of water?
Sticks finger on it. Nope.
Jimmy's sitting there with the letter. He's reading it out to you, Draken, so you know what's up as well. Jimmy breathes and he goes, I've been trying to let go a little more easily lately, but I gotta tell you, that does still hurt a bit. Sad to see him go.
Yeah, it feels weird. We're the only two left.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of them are out there. We may even be able to track down Kong again sometime soon. He's in the city. Or was. This is a weird place to say somebody's still in, even after you've only seen him a little while ago.
That does still leave technically 4 Care Knights.
Yep. But as for right here and right now, just you and me, buddy.
Yeah, it feels weird.
Feels a little lonesome.
Are you lonesome tonight? So,
Let's
To
see
be
if we
honest,
can get into some trouble.
I never really liked Nil, so that's okay.
Now, I think they did a little bit to smooth it over when they brain wrestled a god to free you. So, point to their credit.
very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Point against them. That was terrifying, though.
Poor Draken.
Yes. Don't like people in my brain. There's not really room for anyone else besides me.
There's a lot of glitter up there.
Yeah.
So
It would
as
have been easier if they got me instead. There's plenty of room up here. Sort of knocks on the back of his head.
so as morning settles, what is the plan?
Well, the ghost does as the ghost does, so it's no real use waiting for her to come round and announce her presence. She knows where we're gonna be, so probably we're fine. I think the 3 of us will simply truck out towards the great Gillibrand. It's already gone, I'm sorry. I'm gonna write it down this time.
It's a Gambinelli.
Gambinelli.
The
I am literally writing it over the top of a work document here. It's very important.
This was the former infamous conjurer Gambinelli the Astounding.
He is the glub glub gab glub.
Yes.
We'll put that in brackets as a AKA.
Okay, so probably at this point we would just head out that way. We don't tend to announce ourselves now. Especially not on this case, where the only viable claim we can make is that we are working for a not yet in custody murder suspect. So we will approach stealthily.
Okay. So you make your way through the streets. It's a very gloomy day. There's a nice, thick haze over the city. It seems to kind of cling to your skin like a greasy film as you walk through. The various smells of smoke, cooked food, rotting food, old beer, piss, sweat, tears, and sadness permeate the streets. It's a familiar thing. Not too uncommon. You'll notice urchins eyeballing you from the alleyways. Istu falls over, trying to sneakily follow along.
That's why I laughed. That's got to be the only one that Master Miss has rolled on a stealth in the last year of this campaign.
Big change. Big change. But you do make your way through. It's an uneventful voyage. It does take some time, obviously. But when you arrive at the front of a fairly grand-looking manor home.
All right. If there are people positioned outside, I do not arrive at the front.
There are no people.
Okay.
It is a very dark painted facade to the front of the building. Old wood with stone foundations. The windows are leaded glass with bars, and beyond them, the stained glass, you can see very thick curtains on the inside. A very thick, sturdy door leads into the main, you would assume, foyer of the manor.
All right. I don't suppose Tavarius is out front.
He is not.
Okay. So before entering the building, indeed before even looking like this is our destination, gonna head up and down the street once, surreptitiously, looking for anybody who is surveilling the place.
Okay. Give me your perception rolls, please. Anyone who's trying. Jesus.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to do something to take an eye or something. My God.
Impossible. I have reached the level of rogue at which I no longer care.
No, you don't see anybody watching the place, though.
There, does that make you feel better?
Draken is very intently picking at a scale that just seems out of place. It's been driving him nuts all morning. But no, you don't see anybody that seems to be watching the place, no.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, if that's the case, is there a knocker on the door? Is there a bell? How are you supposed to hail someone?
There's a large brass knocker, the head of a demon with a large brass ring in its jaws.
Okay. Well, it'll have to do. Clang, clang, clang.
Alright, so you clang it, and you hear this goom, 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 goom echo in the distance through the house. From the inside, you hear hushed voices. Several of them start speaking at the sound of the knocker, and footsteps shuffling towards the door. The door opens, and there stands Tavarius. It's you.
It's me. And it's you as well. I'm glad. If it was somebody else, I'd have had to make something up.
Well, you're not the only one here, but it's still good that you came. He kind of leans out and peers back and forth down the street. Kind of waves you and get inside, quick.
Alright. I follow him in.
All right. And here we go. Dun dun dun. The first
Oh, that
new
boy's
map.
got a map.
I do. And hopefully you can see.
Can, in fact, see.
Okay. So you're all piled in there just the way I left you, so feel free to move about to some degree. Don't get crazy. And Bren, you know where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if you're following and slipping in the door or not.
Yeah, she's slipping into the door, like, pretty much as Jimmy goes in at the same time, because she doesn't want anyone inadvertently closing the door before she can get in.
Okay. So, you enter into a very grand foyer. Foyer. Let's use foyer because it's very grand. It's an immaculate tile work. It's beautiful carpeting. There's sconces on the walls that are lit up with some type of arcane power lighting the hallway. Tavarius leads you inside. Once again, he's a very well-dressed little imp. Just to the nines. Polished horns, teeth gleaming. Inside are 3 other people. Their names are probably showing for you.
No, I don't
No,
see any
unfortunately.
names.
No.
Okay. That works. So, here, you have a gnome. A very well-dressed gnome. She does appear to be somewhat older, but still very charismatic. She smiles, eyeing each of you as you come in. She kind of nods gingerly, holding a crystal sphere in one hand. To her right, a very, very attractive elf with flaming curly red hair in a long green gown, smiling at you. She's hard to take your eyes off of. She's just that kind of draw and charisma to her. Standing towards the back is a man in full plate mail with a curled mustache, very devilishly handsome in his own right, but looking at each of you suspiciously. Tavarius looks at all three of them, shakes his head and kind of rubs his forehead a little bit, and looks back at you guys and says, I kind of hoped you'd have gotten here before all the riffraff. At which point, the red-headed elf tuts, Tavarius, you know you couldn't hide this. Tavarius shakes his head again. I suppose introductions are in order, though I'd rather just throw the lot of them out.
Jimmy sizes him up, looks at the crew. Yeah. Throwing out could be arranged, but that wasn't in the contract. Introductions, please. So useful to know people.
Tavarius steps up to the gnome. He says, this is the illustrious Madame Vida. This was the great Gambinelli's spiritual advisor. Though if you ask me, she's a charlatan. At which point she actually pops him on the back of the head lightly and kind of chuckles. Says, I assure you, sir, I am the legitimate thing. None have access to the spirit realm quite so smoothly as I.
Raised eyebrows.
Yeah, Bryn, it's a good thing she's invisible, because she's going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, I can feel Bryn's hackles raise. So he moves over in front of the elf. Despite her comeliness, he kind of just, haphazardly just waves a hand at her and goes, this is Lady Allura, the lover of the great Gambinelli, and I assure you, a tremendous gold digger as well. Once again, he gets popped in the back of the head. She shakes her head, smiles, and curtsies at you. As she leans down, most of you who have the propensity to have a hard time averting your eyes from her cleavage, which she is putting on display quite plainly, especially for those of you who don't have the propensity to be attracted to such things. Lady Allura is my name indeed, but I assure you, I'm here only because my love for the man was so great that I felt him pass. She turns her head, just melodramatically, hand to the forehead.
I am an insightful gentleman. And would like to insight check this for being a performance or not.
Okay. I'm going to roll against you even if it isn't, just so you're aware.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's how you should.
Yeah. That's a pretty good insight check.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We're going to go with at advantage.
Rip.
Okay. Yeah, there's something off about her. She's definitely playing it up.
I think Bryn would actually like to insight check Madam V and her qualifications.
You're more than welcome to.
Do I get any sort of like advantage or anything on this one?
Do you have anything that would give you advantage?
I mean, I don't know if her spirit medium background feature would apply here as well, but I mean, also she is just a spirit medium, a College of Spirits bard.
I think in this particular case I wouldn't give advantage, but
Okay.
yeah, you can still go ahead and make your roll though.
Had to ask.
It's a different woman from the one that was the spirit medium. This is not a spirit medium.
No, she's asking about the gnome.
No, okay, yeah.
She seems completely legit.
Jeez. Yeah.
In fact, you're actually wondering, like, oh damn, this might be a contemporary.
In her eyes, she still doesn't hold a candle to her, because Bryn has a reputation. She doesn't.
Of course. Which is completely expected. So, as Tavarius rolls his eyes at Lady Allure's melodrama, he kind of brushes past her and says, "And this is Lieutenant Darvold, brother to my late master." And as he says this, Darvold strides up and, like, cocks a fist back like he's just about to pop Tavarius. And he very angry all of a sudden. He said, "This little fiend is the one that put him on the floor. I have no doubt." Tavarius, of course, kind of scampers away over, if I can catch him here. Get out of the way. Woo! He scampers over to where Jimmy's standing. Kind of, goes around behind your legs and peeks out the side. See what I got to deal with here?
I'm getting the picture, I think, and I address Lieutenant Darvold. My friends, my condolences for your loss, but let me let you know. The guilty parties do not generally secure my services. The ones that do, they don't last very long.
Yeah, I've heard about you. You and your little detective agency.
If you've heard about us, you might have heard a couple of the stories then.
Nothing good, I assure you. I have no reason to trust you whatsoever.
Oh, at least one of those stories tells you exactly what happened the last time a guilty party came to my door. They ended up in a whole lot of pieces.
Yeah, it means nothing to me.
Trust me, Tavarius here, he's got a high polish on him. And he seems to be on the up and up to me. But he's, no offense now, no offense, you're not quite as frightening as the last time somebody tried to pull a trick on me like that.
So, as you're speaking, he's just steady, like, mad-dogging. He's just steady mad-dogging Tavarius. And as you finish talking, he grips the very beautifully crafted rapier at his side and kind of shifts it in the sheath, like pulls it out a couple inches and shifts it back in. As he does, you see a couple, like, flurries of frost kind of float out from around his belt. He shakes his head with a big humph and strides off through this doorway. Madame Vila takes this opportunity, shaking her head and chuckling to herself, to move through this doorway, followed by Lady Allura.
Look down at Tavarius. So, which one of them did it?
That's what I hired you for, isn't it?
Yeah, but I have to ask, you know?
As far as I know, they're all working together, did it. I don't know. Look, the master was... He was wealthy. All right, he had quite a pile. And
I can see that.
there might be something more to it, but there's some sensitive information here. Stuff that I'm not privy to just spill right openly. I'm sure you understand. The main thing is they all think I did it. Like I'm going to benefit because he looks around. The old horse left everything to me.
I can see now how you may have an interest in the case beyond simply a lust for vengeance and justice to be done.
But what am I going to do against these three?
Yeah. I bet you could take the gnome.
Yeah. Don't sell the madam short. Trust me.
Nah, I know better. If that's a real spiritualist, you got a bit of an issue on your hands. I know how those work.
I seen her do some stuff. I ain't gonna lie.
They're out there. They're out there, no doubt about it. Yeah, there's some fakes out there, but there's some real ones too.
True. Well, you're welcome. You got free reign at the place. Stairs right up here. He kind of points. You can see kind of these stairs here. Those lead up to the second level. There's another staircase in the back, leads up to an old widow's watch. Ain't much up there except a platform to stand on. You got free reign of the place. Just ask anything. I got one stipulation.
Alright.
As he talks, he walks back, pulls the door shut. Nobody's leaving until we get this sorted. And he traces a glyph on the door, and you can just see an arcane barrier just seal it.
Jimmy is smiling now. It's a big smile. It has too many teeth. A lot of people used to see that smile and not be a fan. Now the various... That makes the price go up.
Well, you're in luck. As I said, the old coot left me everything.
Alright then. In that case, we're gonna settle up once this is done.
That'd do a good enough job. That'd be a bonus in it for you.
Alright. First, come with me. A bunch of us need to have a little chat before I get down to talking to the rest.
Alright, where are you heading? Or what are you looking for?
Someplace we can sit. A little bit of ways from the other three.
Alright. So, if you come up to here where he's at, you should have vision. You can kind of see. The lieutenant is sitting at the dining table.
Okay.
Once again, everything in here is just lavishly decorated. I mean, ancient, antique, just superior craftsmanship. This guy was well off. You're not used to this type of finery. But yeah, he's sitting at the table, feet propped up, just mad as hell, still mad dogging as you pass by, drinking. Drinking very heavily by the looks of it. There's a few bottles in front of him. From the other side, Lady Allura and Madame Vila are sitting in front of the fire, sharing glasses of wine. They are speaking in hushed tones and look over at you as you pass.
Alright, we're gonna pull a fun trick here. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
We walk past, conspicuously, well visible, rounding the corner up here.
Define well visible.
Well, Jimmy is very visible. He is making no sort of attempt to hide his progress or even be regularly quiet. We get to here.
Okay.
Now, at this stage, Jimmy does something.
Uh-oh.
He reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a copper piece. He looks around. And he flips it into the air. This is a signal to the ghost.
She'll swipe it.
So, when the coin vanishes out of the air, he goes, good, 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 good.
What the heck's going on there, Jimmy?
You have to leave a professional to their trade secrets sometimes. But let's move ourselves up out of the way. That way, they can't overhear us, and we can't overhear them, he says in a very specific tone.
Well, you know, I got the conservatory up here. Got the library. There's the garden out back, and of course upstairs.
Garden seems like a good bet. He winks in the direction of a vanished coin.
Alright, so here I'm gonna pull a door here.
Yes.
He opens this door. And pull this door too. Luckily I made it to where I could pull doors. I was thinking ahead. Alright, yeah, come on in.
He's got it together now.
Oh, that's Draken.
Yep.
So yeah, he goes through this doorway here.
It's not open on my screen. It's walking into black.
Same.
Still?
Yep.
When you
I don't
pass
know
it?
what hasn't updated. Yeah, I can go past it, but it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
show anything.
I'm
Okay.
standing in darkness.
Yep.
Alright, well as long as when you go past it, you're okay.
No, I'm not okay when I go past it. It's still just pure
Oh,
black.
that's because it's dark.
Yes.
It's dark there. There's no light near.
Oh. That's not ideal.
Yeah, there's no light near.
If it's the garden, I would prefer there to be light.
This is actually the conservatory.
Oh, the conservatory. All right.
So he's gonna keep going over to here.
Jimmy is like fumbling in his pack for a moment, pulls out his lamp.
You know, pull out your lamp. All right, here, let me do this then.
Jimmy does not have dark vision, but the purpose of the previous interaction, we now have an opportunity for the ghost to eavesdrop on the other two having a conversation,
There you go.
True facts.
who now believe that we are elsewhere.
There you go. You should have light now
Yes,
with your
thank you.
lamp out. Okay. Yeah, he went through this doorway here.
All right.
Now you will notice in the music room as it lights up, once again, there's a huge grand organ against that north wall. It's fairly empty. It looks like a dance floor almost. But you will see a statue here in an alcove of what you assume is, or was, the great Grambinelli. Tribute to his ego.
Hold on one second. Jacob's computer just randomly decided to shut off for no reason, so he's logging back in.
It's all
We don't
good.
know why that happened.
It's perfectly alright. Well, here, you moved on down, right? Where are you headed?
Yeah. Let me see how stealthy Bryn is, and she'll probably go and try to eavesdrop.
On the ladies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Average. She'll walk slowly up to here, and she's just going to like kind of listen. She's not going inside.
Alright.
I'm back.
Alright. Well, here, we'll do this. Oh my.
That is a hell of a deception check.
Yep.
The two of them are talking about gardening, flowers in particular. Seems completely innocuous.
Bryn narrows her eyes. Actually, you know what? Let me roll an insight on them, because I rolled stealth.
Hmm.
She's peery, but she can't, like, shake. It's she can't shake the feeling, but like she's still just like she doesn't have any good evidence to go on that, like, you know, they mean something other than guarding. So she's going to go back to about where Jimmy is.
That's fine. Yeah. You can catch up with them. They're kind of gawking at the music room. So yeah, that's no problem. Here, I got one more door I gotta get rid of here.
Just the one.
I'm just kind of moving them off screen there. There we go.
All right. Jimmy follows Tavarius through.
Yeah, he'll take you into the garden. Through this doorway.
Before Jimmy goes into the garden, Bryn will tap Jimmy on the shoulder and say, "They were talking about gardening." Like whisper in his ear.
Okay.
All right.
I'm hearing, but not exactly right. I can decipher what they were talking about.
Yeah, I don't have much of a green thumb either.
So as you enter the garden, a cobblestone path, flooring, not flooring, but basically it's paved through cobblestone, ancient cobblestone. The walls are lined with beautiful ivy. The garden is predominantly filled by, once again, an enormous statue of the great Gambinelli. Once again, testament to his ego. It doesn't appear to be much else. Like, this was literally just something to house this enormous statue. It is entirely enclosed in leaded glass, as far as you can tell. Shaded in such a way that it's very hard to see out, but some light still comes in. Very little. It is still lit by, once again, arcanely powered lanterns. You should be able to see them on the map there. So Tavarius walks up to the statue and places his hand on the dais, lowers his head and shakes it slightly, mumbles to himself, and then turns around and gives you his full attention.
Guy had a bit of a head on him, didn't he?
He was one of the great ones.
I'd be inclined to argue, but if you can afford a joint like this, yeah, maybe he was.
I mean, everybody called him a madman. Who was gonna be a summoner out here in Sigil, right? Insanity. But who could successfully be a summoner out here in Sigil? That's the real question nobody even stops to ask.
Only a madman.
Maybe. Or a genius.
Yeah, some people, they say the line's real thin. I think those might also be madmen, though.
You might be right, but he got this far. He never abused me.
I'll take your word for it. And this is pretty far to get. Gotta give him his credit.
Very
All
much.
right. Jimmy walks over and he sits down on the corner of the plinth for the statue. So, first question, easiest question. What was the great Gambinelli up to in the last weeks or months of his life that would have led directly to his death?
Well, you know, he spent a lot of time with that little tot, Allura.
Yeah.
I advised him against it, but you know, what do I know? You know, Madame Vila would come in once or twice a week. She'd give him advice, and of course, you know, his brother. His brother popped in all the time. Never did like the man, but family, so, you know, you endure family.
Indeed you do.
He got a little withdrawn towards the end there. He was up to something, something big. I know he'd done some really big summonings for show. You know, he pulled a little coin in there. People get a kick out of seeing that type of thing sometimes.
You have any of his confidence? You know what he was working towards in his last weeks?
Well, I mean, normally he'd tell me everything. I mean,
Not this time?
no, not this time. It was something big, though. Something big. He used to tell me, one of these days, Tavarius, one of these days, we're going to take it to the next level. Still don't know what that meant.
All right. So, apart from that, in the rest of his life, he didn't exactly have much that would make him a deadly enemy, did he?
Well, I mean, a summoner in Sigil does make a lot of enemies.
Fair, but I assume if he made it this far successfully, he had some means of warding off threats like that. What might that have been, by the way?
As you're asking this question, you hear something fall off the wall in the room you came through to come out into the garden. This is a little cloakroom, by the way.
Ah, yes.
Something fell off the wall and hit the floor with a clatter, and then you heard footsteps run away.
All right, so I'm going to take a shot here. Two of these people are of similar height. One of them is not. Is it somebody with a very short stride or somebody with a normal human scale stride? I will make a perception roll if necessary.
I was gonna say, that's a tough one. Go ahead. Go make your roll. Let's see what you got.
Nice.
Do you have to ask?
It was the larger gate. Definitely a larger stride.
Did he hear anything? Like the sound of metal moving?
That's a good question. One is in full plate.
You did not hear metal moving, no.
All right.
But yeah, everybody heard that, by the way. Not just Sammy. Like, even Tavarius perked up. I was like, God, can't have a moment to ourselves.
You gotta expect a little bit of that. I think that was likely the elf, by the way.
Ooh, Elora?
Yeah. Gnome has a few more footsteps if they're moving that fast, and I didn't hear no full plate.
I mean, suppose it could have been. She's always been shifty, but as far as I can tell, they all are. They all just want the money.
We'll work that out. But again, back on topic, because probably this is all stuff they would know. There's no need to really worry about them eavesdropping on this. How did Great Gambinelli keep a tight lid on attempts against his life from creatures he summoned? Because a lot of them don't take it quite as well as you seem to have.
Well, Gambinelli was... You know, a lot of wizards call themselves amazing or astounding or the incredible this or that. The Gambinelli really was. He was powerful. I'm shocked that anything did him in. I mean, he He's still laying upstairs.
Oh, is he now? I was thinking they'd have carted him off.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
we can make this a bit easier.
I came straight to you. Straight to you.
The ghost's eyebrows raise and she smiles a very smug smile.
All right. Well, let's put the questioning on hold. You take us upstairs. Let's have a look at Gambinelli. You might be able to deploy another one of those trade secrets.
Hey, as you wish. So, let's see here. I'm going to move all of you real quick. Well, here, let's do this. I want to take my light tokens here. So, bear with me while I move you.
Everybody into teleporting formation.
Pew!
Also, I did cast Dark Vision on myself back then. It's why I posted it.
Okay. Well, what's the range on it, do you know? It's probably 60.
60 feet.
60, yeah.
Yeah, I posted it in chat.
That's fine.
So 60.
There you go. It should be active. We're about to go upstairs, so let me affect that to the next. It's going to be dark possibly for a second here. Bear with me. 60 feet. And Jimmy's got his lantern.
Yes, I spoil all dark vision because I remain a frail human in many ways.
Alright, so you guys, here, we'll do this one at a time. It's a little tight in here. So we're just filling up the hallway. The upstairs is a lot smaller, by the way. So yeah, he takes you upstairs. You enter into a hallway. Primarily old wood. Once again, beautifully crafted. The carpet along the floor is pristine. Tavarius takes you up. Once again, the house is still fairly dark. You can tell that he's just kind of used to dealing with it. We'll move the door that he opens out of the way. Whoa. Somebody drawing?
I was trying to grab my token and it was somehow on the drawing tool instead. Let me get rid of those.
It's all good. Yeah, he steps into through this doorway here. This is a very cozy study. A large mantelpiece on the southwest corner of the room. Fire still burning. Two very lush upholstered chairs made of crushed velvet and ancient oak. The walls are lined with bookshelves. A leaded glass window is on the west wall here. The mantelpiece is not sculpted. You can tell right off. The stonework is too fluid. This was crafted out of stone, most likely magically. Just these fluid arches and movements and carvings of sea-born creatures from planes unknown, things you don't even recognize are on there. It's beautiful, the way it's crafted. The main thing you notice, of course, is a humanoid man laying on his face on the floor of the room. A small stain of blood underneath him on the lavish carpet. He appears to have been dead for some time, not enough to rot or get gross or anything yet.
So Bryn, while invisible, is going to bend down, check his neck, check his head, check his mouth, make sure everything is still attached there.
All right. So you're just kind of feeling around gingerly.
Yeah, making sure the head's still usable for her next trick.
Okay. The body seems to be intact. It's cold, stiff. Rigor mortis has set in. See if I can move. Sorry, I'm just moving to various there, Draken. As you're reaching down and feeling around, you guys hear almost panicked footsteps coming from the hallway that you entered, as another elven woman races into the room. Panicked looking, wide-eyed, dark hair. Once again, she is very attractive. An elf. She runs in. Oh, Lord. What are you doing? Tavarius, what are all these people doing here? Tavarius rolls his eyes and kind of rubs his temples. Marion, you're the help. Go home. I can't really do that now, can I? You've sealed the doors shut and I'm stuck here with you. Now get away from him.
She's got you there.
She kind of moves. She's about to, like, bowl over you, Bryn. Like, she doesn't know you're there, but she's about to bowl over you, working her way towards the body.
Jimmy will intercept, because the whole point of this trick was to get Bryn near the corpse.
You gonna try and intercept her?
Yeah. Hold on. It's all right. We're doing our job here, and I will roll a lovely persuasion.
While he does that, Bryn is going to go ahead and cast Speak with Dead.
Alright. Now that will bring you out of invisibility.
Oh, yes. So she pulls up her cloak before she does that.
Okay.
And bright, glowing, ethereal mists are going to spring up around her as she becomes visible once more.
Alright. So as you become visible, Marion will stubble back, horrified. Tavarius will get wide-eyed.
He says, now this next bit's a little frightening. You might want to look away.
You're disrespecting the dead. How dare ya?
Only disrespect one can deal the dead is to leave them unavenged, and I don't intend to do that. 24 persuasion.
24 persuasion. Let me see. What is the
opposed to persuasion? I honestly don't know. It's not really something specified in the rules much. You just kind of do what you feel like, I think.
Let's just do a wisdom. If it'll roll. Oh my gosh. 18, okay. 20 altogether. She looks at you, it's enough to make her back off, but she's not convinced. Like, she's very irritated with all of you.
I only need her to back off. That's typically fine.
And you can actually see, like, she's got a hand resting on a dagger on her belt.
A hand what? You cut out, my man.
Resting on a dagger on her belt.
Honestly, if she can stab a 12th level rogue, she deserves it.
Based upon the way she's dressed, you get the feeling that she's probably a maid.
Mm-hmm. Then the dagger is a little suspicious in and of itself.
Well, it is Sigil.
Less suspicious, that's fair.
Alright, so yes, you managed to get your spell off, Bryn.
Yeah. She stands up, puts her hand on Jimmy's shoulder, and says, "As always, Jimmy, you have 5 questions."
All right. Jimmy sits down, cross-legged on the floor, next to the dead man. Gather round, everybody. Time for the most important part of the job.
Okay.
I got a couple I need to ask, but I'm not going to Bogart the whole thing. Humphrey Bogart exists in this world, by the way. I've decided this. That's canon.
Definitely.
famous actor of the stage here in Sigil. So, I'm gonna get a couple in, but feel free, if you've got a good one, just go ahead with it. All right, he addresses the corpse. Are you the great Gambinelli?
What do I look like?
That is not an answer.
Of course I am.
Good, good. Some people like to fake these things. Who killed you?
Hell if I know.
Also fair, but you do have to ask. What you been working on that's so big the last couple of weeks?
That's a good question. Why would I tell you?
Avenge your death? Spread your legend?
That does still count as a question, by the way.
Alright, is he refusing to answer?
Yeah, no, he has, he wouldn't have told you that one.
Can I persuade a corpse in the middle of Speak with Dead?
That's a good question.
It doesn't really specify, so I don't know.
Let's say no in this particular case. We'll give him his sense of dignity.
Alright.
Two more questions.
Jimmy looks at Draken and Istu and the ghost and says, I can field a couple more, but you might have a better idea than I do.
It might be a good idea to ask him what he heard before his death. Anything that could lead to a possible trail.
Or if there was anyone else in the house.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Istu, you got anything?
The ghost just holds out her hand and is like, someone could have slipped into the house without him knowing, Jimmy.
It's true, but there may have been somebody here that we didn't know about. So, I like those two, honestly. You go ahead and ask them. Jimmy takes a moment to sit in the chair and watches the crew does their part.
All right.
Yes. So Bryn will stand there, just cross her arms across her chest and look coolly down at the animated spirit of the great Gambinelli. And she will say, she will ask, let me word this right. Did you hear anything out of the ordinary in the moments before your death? Such as a sound that you were not expecting, like any footsteps or anything of that nature?
The clink of glass. Somebody mumbling.
She glances at Jimmy. Like, write that down.
Jimmy's taking his notes.
Write that down. One more question.
You're up, bud. Looking at Draken.
Not. When you were killed, was there anyone else in the house who else was in the house?
Me, Tavarius, Allura, Marion, Lucinda. Let's see. Darvold was here, and Madame Vila. Can I go now?
You've been more than helpful. So, one corpse to another. Get some rest in. You've earned it.
Yeah, you might want to get that looked at.
I have. There's nothing they can do.
With that, he kind of gives Tavarius a weird look, the spirit does, and fades back into inanimate stiffness.
All right. Good progress. Good progress. I like it. I like it. Tavarius, who the hell's Lucinda?
The cook.
Oh, that's an important one. That's an important one right there. Is it regular that all three of your typical house guests would be over all at once?
Not uncommon.
All right, just had to check. You holding up there, Marion? Not too spooked? That tends to disturb people.
She looks more angry than anything.
Hopefully you can see it didn't put him out too bad. About as much composure as I've ever seen out of a dead man, in fact.
A lot of nerve you got.
Oh, you have no idea.
I got some idea. She looks over at Tavarius with big nasty stink eye. That's what he gets for cavorting with demons and the like.
Everybody keeps coming down on the demons. I have never bought a better jacket in my life.
There's no time for jokes. The man's dead.
Yep. You got that right.
Yep. She kind of huffs and storms off. Back downstairs.
All right. Jimmy addresses the group. Clinking glass and mumbling. Came up behind him while he was right here. Drinking, preparing something.
Poison.
Poison could have been, but it looks a bit like something sharp got him. Jimmy peers down to examine his wounds.
Are you rolling the body over?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. There is a gash across his chest, about 4 inches long, fairly deep. This appears to be where the blood came from.
Think that would got him? Jimmy's judging if it would have got the heart or a major artery or something. Just be deep enough that the bleeding would take him.
It's enough to where you can see sternum.
That's pretty bad. That could have got him. I don't know. The medicine's always been a little bit out of my way. Honestly, I'm not so strong at that point.
He didn't say anything about hearing armor, though.
He did not. That is worth noting.
And a clink of glass, and that means a suspect could have been anyone who is around glass. Like the cook, Lucinda, perhaps?
Your glass clinking. I think drinks. I think potions. That's a tricky one. That one we might have to figure out.
That glass orb, would that have clinked? I don't really use that stuff.
Bryn looks at her own and says, and she taps on the glass with her nails, and she said, I mean, potentially, though, really the clinking of glass. That sound, I would assume that there were multiple pieces of glass around. Alone, from my own experiences, my own orb doesn't make all that much noise. Unless it strikes something.
It's a good
Not
point.
to
You do need two
clinking,
things to
certainly.
clink.
Pretty solid, you see.
So, we got a powerful mage dead of a minor stab wound. Now, that does work if you sneak up on him, and certainly it seems as if he was snuck up upon. But a man of his stature, you might expect some sort of a fight, and this place is not nearly as burnt as I would really be looking for. Like, Draken, how burnt would this place be if somebody tried to stab you while you were taking a drink?
It would very burnt, but that's what I do. Now, Tavarius, does he have, like, burning? Like, does he do that? I know he summons. I know he's a summoner, but does he also make things explode?
He was one of the greatest mages you could ever know.
I feel like that's
Does
a
he
yes
make
for
stuff
explosions.
explode? Have you seen him do it?
Well, yeah.
Yep, somebody tries to take out a mage that can be a free summoner in Sigil. I really expect this room to be gone. But I suppose most of the suspects are people he trusted, so maybe the shock just took him. Might not respond in time before the knife goes too deep. Alright.
Could also have been someone else who knew magic, was counterspelling it.
Ah, it's true. We got at least one other caster in the house, maybe more. Tavarius, now that we're absent our grieving and conscientious mage, do you mind if I roll him?
If you what?
Sorry, old habits. I would like to inspect his body for the contents of his pockets at time of death, just to ensure that there's nothing that might, one, be missing that you know he always had on his person, two, a little suspicious that he might have been carrying.
I mean, as long as it's respectful. The thing that's shocking, he kind of points above the mantle. There's a beautifully crafted cutlass hanging on a mount above the mantle.
Okay.
The basket on it appears to be like the aft part of a ship, with somebody being keelhauled along the bottom of it. Like it's that detailed in the gilding.
A little gruesome, but impressive.
Nobody stole that. The blade itself appears to be made out of a opaque black crystal. It is not a metal blade. It is an opaque black crystal. Nobody stole that.
So I'm gonna assume, given the finery of the rest of the house, that is something a little more special.
He always told me it was.
Did he say it was magical at all?
Well, there's very little in this house that isn't.
I feel zeros getting added to the end of that bill. I feel them. Feel them in my bones. Don't worry about that, though. Alright, so we can look at that and we can see it was not an opportunist. We're not going to pin this on some random burglar. It was somebody who wanted everything here. He's not going to try and walk off with a sword that they think will be theirs in a few days anyways. Alright. Well, I will respectfully check his pockets.
Alright. So, he's wearing silk pajamas. And a very thick terry cloth bathrobe.
Man after my own heart.
He does have a very beautifully crafted wooden pipe in one pocket, along with a pouch of tobacco and a tamp. Beyond that, there's really nothing on him.
Alright. So, smoker. A smoker of some quality, it seems. Good to know. That's all that seems to be on him. Now, you knew him well. Was there anything that he really should have had, but didn't? I mean, he's a caster. Was he, like my man here who just kind of waves his hands and the magic comes out, or would he have had, you know, a stab? I think they call him focus, right?
Well, I mean, he had things that I didn't question, but, you know, all of his books are here in his study. Anything personal he kept in his bedroom.
Right. All right, so excuse me one moment while I consult with my team.
Well, here, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a bone here since you did search him.
Sure.
Give me a disadvantaged investigation.
All right. So I have great news for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very good at investigation.
I don't think you've rolled under a 20 yet.
I can't even use reliable talent. I'm rolling so well.
So, as you were going through his pockets and searching him, I will say you did notice something that seemed a little off.
Okay.
There were little bits of either short hair or fur here and there on the carpet and on the area around the wound, like they had gotten stuck in the blood that crusted there.
Devarius, he have a pet any kind?
What are you trying to say?
Nah, not you. You're more of an adjutant or assistant, perhaps. I'm talking like an animal, furry type.
I mean, I'd call myself a partner, but
Yeah.
no, he hated animals.
Did he now?
Yeah, funny thing, huh?
Interesting. He ever conduct a summoning on anything that's real furry?
I mean,
Recently, I guess I should say.
yeah, off and on. Do you know how much stuff's got fur?
Yeah, I've been out in Sigil when it's damp. It's a lot, and you can tell. It's fair.
Why?
Oh, it's just, you know, just the state of the place gives you a bit of an impression for fuzz.
As you're talking,
Mhm.
you hear something in the room to your east kind of crash and break, and then footsteps.
I bust through the door instantly.
Okay, that's not a door.
Is that a door?
No, that's actually a wall.
Ah, okay. So in that case, I've seen the door on the way in.
Yeah. You
And
wanna-
move up to the hallway to intercept. I just break off in the middle of the conversation, moving fast.
All right, I've removed the door, so you can move up there.
I step inside.
All right. It appears to be some type of guest bedroom. There does appear, you do see broken glass on the floor over here.
Mhm.
You don't see anyone in the room.
Alright. I would like to make an investigation check for the room.
Okay.
Just
Go.
because Bryn's feeling a little sus, I am going to do this real quick.
Oh,
Hey, ooh, that could come in handy.
got a good one.
Right on. All right.
I'm looking specifically for anyone who may be concealing themselves.
Okay. No, you don't see anyone in the room, concealed or otherwise. You do, however, notice that not enough to get a footprint, but the glass, it looks like there was a bauble that was sitting on top of this armoire here. It's depressed into the carpet, like somebody stepped on it.
Okay.
There's no blood, so it didn't cut anyone.
Okay.
And the door on the armoire is just barely ajar.
Alright, Jimmy steps over this way and he says, alright, this is a classic trick. You ready?
Bryn waves her hand. By all means.
You might not want to stand right there exactly. Steps in front. He draws his short sword and keeps it in his left hand. And he flings open the armoire drawer and steps back.
You see clothes hanging.
I was really hoping for more. Alright, so 2 things. 1, examining the footprint glass area down here.
Okay.
I would like to know 2 things about it.
What's that?
1, I want an idea of what glass object is broken here. Just based on how thick is the glass, how much of there is it, are there any other glass objects on top of the bureau here that it may have been a set with?
Some type of glass bauble, maybe a snow globe, because there is some water there.
Okay.
If you piece it together, you'll discover it is actually a snow globe.
Alright. Second question. It might be rough to get much detail out of a footprint that's embedded in glass in the carpet. But I might be able to spot where the heel was. Usually has the most weight. Was it leading away from it or towards it?
Okay, fair question. Give me one more investigation roll.
I shall.
Very good. Based upon what you can tell, especially since it was a snow globe, which did contain water, the tracks do not lead away from the armoire.
Goddamn magic users. Jimmy steps into the armoire.
Jimmy steps into the armoire.
Ghost is right behind him.
Are you stepping in as well, Ghost?
She is
See if he
watching.
goes through first.
Yeah, she's watching Jimmy.
He's standing in the armoire.
Alright, so I'm poking at the back wall.
Seems solid.
Alright.
Jimmy, if that's a portal, you need a key.
Ah, shit, really. Yup. I always forget how those work. I still haven't left this damn city yet. Apart from my vacation, I had somebody else do the door for that.
I thought you guys were going to do 7 minutes in heaven or whatever it's called there for a second.
They ain't at that level yet.
Jimmy's poking around. Since he probably can't get it to activate freely, he's looking for signs that somebody else was in here as well.
I'll give it to you. That was a really good roll. There are wet tracks into the armoire, as well as small pieces of glass. You still have your lamp?
Yeah.
You will also notice there are some more bits of hair or fur on the clothes inside.
Got somebody living in your furniture now, Tavarius.
What? Don't be ridiculous.
Jimmy steps back out of the armoire. Progress, progress, progress. You really do love to see it.
Jimmy, please tell me you're taking samples of that hair or fur.
He grabs some and hands it to you. I got a little bit. It's good for matching, but I can't really do too much more with it. If you'd like to take a shot, here you go.
I can do about as much as you, Jimmy. And I was going to make sure that you grab some for exactly the purpose you stated.
Okay.
Candy cutter.
All's well and good then. I'm sure we can manage that when the day comes for it. And it might be coming up real soon.
You're just confusing me. What the hell's going on?
Your boss have a habit of teleporting around his house at random?
Well, I mean, he did what he did.
He's the type, I guess. Yeah, it seems like somebody else knows how to work it as well.
That's an armoire.
An armoire in Sigil is many things. Anything has a door on the front of it I don't trust around this place.
He ain't never told me about no portal in the armoire.
Well, my friend, somebody was spying on us from this room and stepped right through it.
You don't think it's one of those freeloaders downstairs, do you?
Oh, I think we'll find out soon. I don't think any of them were quite this close cropped with the hair. And I didn't spot any fur visible, but, I don't know. You never know what people are like around here.
That's another question. How long is the hair exactly?
It's short.
Okay.
Say maybe an inch and a half, 2 at most.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty short.
It looks reddish. Reddish, orangish, brownish, kind of in between those colors. Couple flecks of white here and there. So it's kind of hard to nail down an exact color.
Okay. Alright, alright. We're getting places. We're really getting places. Steps back out, heading to the study.
Alright.
He addresses Draken and the ghost specifically. Now, if one of these was for casting magic, which one do you think it would be? He's looking around at the shelves.
So,
Could be any of them, Jimmy. Look for a book that has any arcane writing in it, and not anything that looks like yours.
I've been told there's quite a resemblance, actually.
So, who's looking? Let's start
Jimmy
with that.
has asked people who know better than him to look.
I will attempt to look.
Can you?
I will also attempt to look, if you can't tell just by the spines. Most
So-
of the time.
I will say this. Istu. Wait, let me see what Istu's saying here. You're looking as well. Every book on these shelves is written in arcane script. It all appears to be either magical research, spells, or notations on spells. Like every single one of them that you pull down.
Jimmy, it's sodding all of them.
7 hells. Tavarius, never let anybody in this room again. This place could probably blow a hole in the side of Sigil.
Well, what?
Jimmy, don't be so dramatic.
I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous about magic sometimes.
I'm reading them.
Jimmy, oh, and here, Istu, I'm going to move you into the room there. Just you're looking. Jimmy. Yeah, we're going to go with Jimmy. Give me a wisdom save.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun. Get ready for a non-25 roll. 14.
14?
Yes.
You're distracted.
Hmm.
You're having a very hard time pulling your attention away from the cutlass hanging above the fireplace.
Jimmy's stepping towards it while muttering to himself.
Like it's just
Goddamn.
fascinating.
Magic books, magic objects. I mean, look at this thing, and he reaches up to poke it.
You poke it?
I'm reaching up to poke it. I don't know if anybody's stopping me, but I'm reaching up to poke it.
No, nobody's stopping you.
Rin has it on her word to protect Jimmy, so she's going to walk up, place her hand on Jimmy's shoulder, and be like, "Jimmy, what are you doing?"
Oh, yeah, I'm just, inspecting the scene. He's still reaching towards it.
She grabs Jimmy's wrist and is going to say, "You don't know if that's magic or not, Jimmy. It could be cursed."
Oh, that thing's probably magic, actually. He's still reaching towards it, but I don't know. Church, does that snap me out of it?
She's still holding onto his wrist. It's like, "You don't know what kind of magic."
Draken's gonna walk over and pick it up.
Draken picks it up?
Yep.
Alright. So,
Don't do this!
Jimmy,
Yep.
as Draken walks over and the ghost is trying to restrain you, you're feeling like almost like jealous. Like, no, wait, this is mine.
All right, so you know what's fun? I do have two hands, and I am a rogue. Can I make a sleight of hand check to pick it up with the other hand?
Yes, you may.
It's pretty good.
Anyone want to contest a 22?
I am gonna try to contest that.
I will also try to contest it.
Okay.
Can I use my sleight of hand?
I'll allow it.
That seems
All right.
appropriate.
Alright.
What do I need to do to contest it with a non-sleight of hand?
Roll to hit. You can use Dex if you want.
All right. Shit.
Rogues.
So with lightning reflexes, he snakes his other hand up and just snatches the sword off the wall.
I love causing trouble.
Jimmy,
Yo.
immediately your mind is flooded with navigational information.
Mm-hmm.
Navigational information about places you've never imagined. Navigational information about floating mists and enormous spheres that contain entire worlds flood into your mind. It's overwhelming. You guys see Jimmy's eyes kind of roll back in his head for a second, and he stumbles, still holding the blade. And on top of it all, you just feel this almost chaotic urge to go out and cause trouble. And
Home.
strangely enough, from his lips slip out the words, "Arr, matey."
We have entered Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Since when did I let Jimmy borrow my adventure novels?
Tavarius is shaking his head over in the corner and kind of chuckling to himself.
Alright, so after my mind is flooded with information about navigating between and betwixt the crystal spheres of the universe, am I able to gain control of myself again, or am I in pirate mode now?
You still have the urge to kind of act piratey. It's not overwhelming you yet.
Sure.
But, you're in control.
Alright. Can I bring myself to put the sword back?
Give me a wisdom save.
I will make the attempt. I really need to not be a pirate for this, so I'm gonna burn the luck point.
Okay, go ahead.
Burn the hat luck point. God damn, I'm a pirate
You,
today.
you do still have a reroll thanks to Massacred Muse.
Is this worth it, or should I just be a pirate? I don't know. Those are helpful.
It's up to you.
Well, you are rolling to see if you have a desire to put it back, not
The
that-
ability to put it back. I'm trying to put it back.
Right, but that's not necessarily that you're going to act piratey.
I think I'm gonna act piratey if I have it, honestly.
All right.
Go ahead. You have a reroll if you want to use it.
I'm just gonna be a pirate for a little, I guess. Maybe I'll need it later.
Okay.
If not, I'm gonna try to take it back. Because I don't trust the way you're acting.
He says, "Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's no trouble to an old dog like me."
Right now, you're
All
not
right.
you're not feeling any impulses right now. It feels really good in your hand. This is the most balanced, perfectly crafted weapon you have ever held. Like, you feel powerful just holding it.
So I address Tavarius and I say, Tavarius, I'm not gonna lie to you. I once had a knife that could kill a god, and I killed a god with it, and this feels better than that.
Yeah, that's you're gonna want to probably put that down.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. Does it always do this?
That's kind of special. That's Blackjammer's cutlass.
Okay, at that, Bryn is going to perk up and turn to Devarius at the at the mention of Jammer.
Jimmy is holding the sword up in the direction of its place on the mantle, but it's not there.
Yeah, old Blackjammer. One of the greatest pirates of the Phlogiston ever known.
Did he lay a compulsion on his sword on purpose, or did it just kind of happen that way?
Oh, see, that's the thing, Jimmy. That sword's alive.
Oh, no. I should not be holding this sword. I have a bad track record with those.
Yeah, I imagine right now you're aching to get aboard the old Blood Fang, the old squid
I don't-
ship.
I don't even know what that is, but yes.
Yeah, the word actually just sends a pang through you. You could picture this gigantic nautiloid-looking ship.
Guys, I'm struggling. Somebody get this sword out of my hands.
I am gonna try. I'm gonna try to sleight of hand it out.
Okay.
Jimmy's got his eyes closed, and he's just kind of facing the sword, but he's not looking, so you should succeed on sleight of hand as long as you can get it out of my grip.
Okay. Well, look, it has not taken you over. Although this is excellent roleplay. Draken, you'll manage to wrest it from him. Draken, give me a wisdom save.
All right.
Oh. What? I have 0, but why do I feel like Draken has a negative wisdom modifier?
Because it's Draken.
But I don't. Doesn't mean I do well, but
Yeah, you're flooded once again with the same images. All these images of navigational information in between worlds. However, for you, you're caught with the notion that your arcane ability could potentially power one of these ships. You could actually helm one of these nautiloid contraptions that you've never even imagined possible, and not only breach the planes of existence, but breach the space between worlds itself.
He pulled that off once, but it took a very nice scroll.
Jimmy, the eye patch. I'm wearing an eye patch. It fits now. It fits.
Ah, hell. Ah, hell. Out of one problem into
Alright,
another.
you two bastards, and Bryn is going to
No,
catch.
I am keeping this. I think I can get us back to Cairn. I can get us back to Cairn. This explains things to me.
A fair assessment.
Don't let magic swords explain things to you.
What were you saying,
Irene
Ben?
is going to cast Mage Hand and get the sword out of Draken's hand so she can put it back on the shelf with that.
Okay.
That's gonna be a contested roll.
Yeah. It'll
I
probably
want
be
this thing now.
it'll be an easy one to beat because Mage Hand has like 0 strength.
Very strong.
Do you want to try and take it from him, Bryn?
With Mage Hand, yeah, so she is not personally touching this thing.
Okay. Mage Hand probably won't be enough to wrest it from his grip. If he's trying to keep it.
She's gonna try anyways.
I'll give you a chance. Go ahead.
What do I need to roll?
Range touch attack. Let's roll to hit.
Strength?
Spellcasting modifier,
Yes,
probably.
spellcasting.
That's gonna be like a... okay.
$22. Blam. Draken, roll a opposing strength check, please. It's getting interesting.
I feel like this isn't a true fight because. Oh!
He wants the sword.
No! It's my sword now.
He won. He won.
Yeah. No.
It doesn't even matter that was a match. It's a nat 20. He won.
Yeah, he just snatches it away. Mine! In fact, as he does, you hear him mutter out, "Ya filthy scallywags!"
Draken, come on. We got work. We can't be pirates.
Tavarius
Oh,
is
we-
over in the corner just cracking up.
Tavarius,
gonna-
I may need a pile of diamond dust later.
I can do both.
So, here's the thing. That sword don't belong to any of you.
No, it don't. That's why we're trying here, but you did leave a powerful magical artifact with mind-bending powers on the mantle.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is a private estate.
You might consider this a workplace hazard for laborers in the home.
Possibly. So, Draken. Draken, was it?
Draken Flametongue. Yes.
Why don't you put the sword back for me?
Jimmy is going to whisper to Draken, "We're gonna negotiate our way into that thing on the way out."
I think he can get me back to Cairn. Oh, I don't know. It's changed.
No, I love that. That's the most beautiful sort of pirate portmanteau right there. We're
need to
getting it on
find
the
that-
way out. We're getting it on the
Need
way
to
out.
find the ship. I will put it back, but we're gonna need to find that ship. I got an idea. And you know what happens when I get ideas?
Incredible things.
I
Sometimes
break
deadly ones.
reality.
I remember.
The house is
I
gonna
remember.
catch
I've got the
fire.
flesh left to prove it.
I would try put it back.
Give me a wisdom save.
All right.
That's pretty good.
You struggle. In fact, like you're having to peel your own fingers away from it, but you manage to get it back up on the rack.
Whew.
Bryn just
Okay.
breathes a sigh of relief and hangs her head down,
I look-
crossing her arms.
I look at Tavares. Are you just immune to that thing? Are you used to it?
I just don't touch it.
Yeah, it's probably smart.
So look, as entertaining as this was,
Oh, no. There's still work to do.
that thing's irrelevant. Unless you think it stabbed him somehow.
I feel like it would have done more damage than that.
I'm inclined to agree.
But no, that is a distraction. It's an impressive distraction, but I don't think it's too much related to the murder. If it was, they'd have taken it, like you said.
So,
Also, out of character, I see what you did there with that sword.
And I will follow that plot hole for you.
Oh yeah, we're set now. But all right, steps away from the sword, very purposefully. So
who did it?
We're gonna figure that out. Somebody who can kill what appears to be an unfathomably powerful wizard, literally surrounded by grimoires, with a living sword on the wall in front of him. So, somebody who's used to underhanded tactics.
Well, that doesn't exactly narrow it down.
No, it does not. That's your average successful murderer right there. But I think we've made some good progress here, and we can go and start chatting with our house guests.
All right. Are we heading back downstairs?
Yeah, I'm ready to. Anybody else got something they want to do up here?
Nah, I think Bryn's done.
Alright.
She may, like,
Yeah.
pop back invisible first, but yeah.
Downstairs we go.
Downstairs we go.
Actually, no, I'll say she'll stay visible. Let's keep those second level slots, because she can use them for things.
I think, yeah, you can flip your token. I think
I will-
it still shows you invisible.
Yeah,
I
because
will
I was
walk in-
invisible whenever we went off of this map.
I will walk in front of Bryn to provide cover so that more people are focused on me.
You do take up a lot of visual space.
And she'll pull up her cloak.
He's the brightest thing in any given room.
This is true.
Might I propose that we take our union break this time? We've run a little past, but we were having a good time.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
And Istu did sketch the sword as
Sketch
they
the sword.
exited the room, just so it's out there.
That's good investigative practice. I see you've done this before.
Yeah, we will go ahead and take our mandated break. We will be right back after this word from our sponsors. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to the City of Doors.
Thank you for sticking around.
So, to dive right back in, we've just come right back downstairs. Oh, look at that, Mr. Midnight. Reroll and a setback. Mr. Midnight always does both. So,
Perfectly balanced.
you guys come back downstairs. Where are you headed as you come downstairs? Where are we headed?
Kind of feeling Lieutenant Davern. No, I've written that down wrong. It's not Davern. What was his name?
Oh, the lieutenant?
Yes.
Darvold.
Darvold, thank you. I will amend my notes.
All good.
I'm kind of feeling Lieutenant Darvold first.
All right. So, you make your way to the dining room. As you pass the door into the living room, which is directly across, you see Lady Alora with her back to the fire, and Madame Vila also with her back to the fire, both looking pale and wide-eyed towards this far corner of the room.
Peek my head around.
In the corner is the ghostly vestige of the great Gambinelli, floating in the corner of the room.
Turns around. Was that one of yours? He's looking at the ghost.
She's going to step around, peer in, and just say, I didn't summon him.
I belong to no one, comes the voice from the ghost.
Then what are you doing here, darling?
I am angry.
As you should be, yes.
I have been betrayed.
I'm playing the good audience here. I would love to hear more of what he has to say.
I have been set upon by wolves and stolen from by those who I thought to once call friend. How dare you? Here, I'll put that there. There's a
Okay.
ghost. How dare you?
Is he looking at anybody in particular?
He's looking around the room. You see Madame Vila kind of scooting away, Lady Laura going back to the corner. They're kind of cringing and hiding.
Bryn is just, she sees that and she is just smirking, looking at Madame Vila.
The ghost steps forward, floats, excuse me, looks over at where you're standing, Jimmy, raises a long ghostly finger and aims it at you. Leave my house, intruder. You are not welcome here.
I'm gonna do the smile at the ghost. Here, let me check how strong my smile is right now.
Wait, which ghost?
Good point. Good point. The clearly deceased Great Gambinelli, rather than the probably alive ghost of of great acclaim. Let me find the appropriate skill here. It would be foolish to try and intimidate a ghost, wouldn't it? But it might be fun.
You're welcome to.
Alright, here we go. Ah! I finally have hit the flat number.
No effect.
Alright, so it's a big smile. That's all he was doing, by the way. He was just doing his big, slightly too toothy smile.
So, Bryn, you stepped into the room.
Oh, yeah.
The ghost looks at you, turns its full attention on you. You can just see, like, anger in its eyes as it points its finger at you now. And starts howling. Charlatan! Charlatan! Thief! Liar! Blasphemer! Fake!
Oh, now I know you're putting it on.
Darling, you do not know to whom of which you speak. But if you would give us the chance, we are here to discover who it was who betrayed you.
Oh, come now, my dear ghost. Clearly, this is an illusion. We've already spoken to this man's corpse.
As you say this, the temperature drops a few degrees. You know nothing.
Well, fair, I'm a little out of my profession here. But I do know people. And you supposedly used to be a person.
You have invaded my home. Tavarius has betrayed my trust by bringing strangers here.
I'm not so sure about that.
My body grows cold upstairs, and you play
That it
games in my home. Flee, interloper. Remove yourself from my home, or face my wrath.
Still smiling. Well, I don't know. Let's see that wrath.
Yeah, Bryn's just standing there crossing her arms. Does not faze her.
He's giving Vila the side eye right now, as a matter of fact, watching for a reaction.
She's sitting in the corner, still kind of looking terrified, covering her face.
Alright. I would like to... Insight, perception, whichever. I would like to see if she's casting right now, basically.
Okay. If she's casting a spell right now?
Yeah, and in Jimmy's case, that's really just going to be looking for out-of-the-ordinary behavior rather than really understanding, like, the mechanics of casting and whatever her discipline are.
Okay.
Wait, can Bryn try and recognize what Jimmy's doing?
He's just looking.
Or like what he's trying to figure out by looking at Madame Vila? Because I feel like she would be on his wavelength here.
So, let's do this. Bryn, give me an insight check.
Just because she wants to give Jimmy advice, but I want to see if she knows, like, what he's trying to look for, because just a glance backwards can be anything.
Yeah, just an insight check. Yeah,
I'll rip.
you're just not picking up on what he's trying to do. And it's fair, because it's a little vague what he's doing.
Okay, then I want to look toward the ghost and see if I can discern if it's an illusion.
Okay.
So I think that's a wisdom save per major image if it is indeed what's going on here.
Yeah, go ahead. You can make a try. I won't say if it is or isn't.
Oh!
She's so strong.
Oh.
That is a nat 20, though.
It is a nat 20. This does indeed appear to be an illusion.
So
Jimmy
she,
don't know shit about magic, but he does know people.
so she figured it out, then she can see right through it.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's an illusion. Something's not right. Your prior background with actually dealing with spirits, you're like, well, that's not a spirit.
And I think knows major image, literally.
Does, yes.
Yeah. Well,
In
I mean,
fact, no major image.
major image is still pretty powerful illusion, so. But still, you figured this one out for sure.
Yeah, Bryn's just going to put her hands on her hips and just. That's an illusion, Jimmy.
Yeah, I figured.
So, as you say that, the other two women look at you puzzled, confused.
Still watching Vila, by the way.
What are you trying to watch for?
I'm essentially looking for signs that this is a performance, that she is either in control of it as an illusion or knows it's an illusion in advance. So, is
Okay.
this a genuine reaction? Is she secretly casting and controlling it?
Okay. Well, once again, insight check, and I will roll against you no matter what she is
Indeed.
actually doing.
Gotcha. Low rolls at last. That's beatable.
Bryn's just going to turn around, cross her arms, and just say, "And you call yourself a sodding spirit medium, you Burke."
So, she's legit afraid, Jimmy. She's no clue what's going on, apparently. Bryn, as you say this to her, she looks at you like offended and stands up to her full, like, 3.5 foot height. How dare you, madam? How dare you? And as you guys are talking, the illusion fades into tatters.
I mean, they did get you with the old fake ghost trick, and that didn't even work on me.
Fake ghost. She steps forward.
Yeah.
Lady Allura kind of comes out and peeks behind the chair. Fake ghost.
Very.
Fake or not, it means we've been attacked.
Well, yes, but I mean, the guy with the hole in his chest upstairs kind of implies that.
Once again, why are you here?
I am here on behalf of the new master of the house.
That little imp is a master of nothing.
He's the master of me as long as he's paying, and I guess I don't get to leave until we figure out exactly who stabbed the big man upstairs.
I hope you've seen the color of his money.
It's gold. Same as anybody else's.
Yeah, I'm sure he paid up front, too.
As a matter of fact. Anyways, don't worry. We'll get around to you.
Lady Allura peeks out from behind the chair. Is it
We'll get
gone?
around to you.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Technically, it was never here, but that's kind of a finicky metaphysical area that I don't really mess with.
She plops back down in the chair. Thank the gods.
I'd recommend a drink. It'll make you more talkative.
Let me get this. Where did it go? Boom. There we go. Madame Vila huffs and storms off.
Bryn just watches her leave and just wiggles her fingers in a mock wave while her back's turned.
She's so mad.
Yeah.
Jimmy's sitting there. He turns to Draken and he says, "You know, people really just don't know how to run a con these days. Should never have accused a stranger of being a fraud. That just gives it away."
Who's a fraud?
Who asked that?
Lady Alora.
Nobody, and that's exactly what gave the game away.
Yeah, that made Bryn really sus too, whenever that happened.
Also, we talked to him. He didn't act that way when we talked to him.
Yeah. Other benefits of actually being able to summon spirits.
She walks over, stands in front of Jimmy. You talked to him?
Oh, yeah, sure. We had a whole conversation.
What did he say?
All sorts of things that I'm not going to repeat outside of the room, obviously. Got to keep a few of that pieces of trade secret with me. He continues on the conversation with Draken, just kind of letting her based in not knowing for a moment. But yeah, you know, when we ran this sort of business back in the day, we would never have gone around like that. You gotta be kind of self-effacing, you know? Obviously, that was always more me than you.
Jimmy.
On the plus side.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
She steps into you and places a hand on your chest. You're overwhelmed with the smell of her perfume and the look of her. She's turning on the charm.
Oh, lady. I had a client like you once, and let me tell you, she just went all to pieces.
Give me a wisdom save.
Can I make it contested charisma? Because that's kind of how Jimmy works.
I'll allow it.
Because when somebody tries to turn the charm on for Jimmy, he just dials it up back.
I'll allow it.
All right. Would you like me to make a charisma save or contest with persuasion or something or what?
Just do a save, because
Right.
she's not using any abilities. She's just turning on the charm. Close.
So close. That's a high charisma mod.
Yeah. She's distracting you.
All right. I'll play him as if he's just a little under capacity.
Yeah. She has your attention.
Yeah. So I can't continue on just casually speaking to Draken. He slides a hand in under the one on his chest and he moves it back just a little bit. He says, "Come on now, hands off the merchandise."
Did he mention
On the plus
me?
side, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Think about it. This one wasn't a real ghost for once. It's been so long since we've actually had a pretend ghost. Miss, I apologize. My colleague and I are having a discussion. Can you give us a moment? You can go back to feeling him up in a moment, but I'm talking to the gentleman. Pardon me.
She says, "It's very important that you tell me everything he said." She's trying to persuade you.
I'm not that easy. What you want me to contest that with?
Actually, hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Because Bryn is going to do a thing.
Oh, Bryn has a thing.
We're casting this on Jimmy.
Okay.
I am now the Omega Persuader.
Yeah, so as she does this, the ghost of a crow is going to sweep down with a piece of food in its mouth, and that piece of food is going to drop on top of Jimmy as Bryn recounts this line. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, she's even got the line. I think this is the first time we actually get to use this.
How her feathers shine! What beautiful form and what splendid wings! Such a wonderful bird should have a very lovely voice, since everything else about her is so perfect. Could she sing just one song? I know I should hail her the queen of birds.
Nice.
Jimmy feels slicker than he's ever felt before. This is Jimmy at maximum smile.
As the food, as a piece of like ghostly food drops on top of him. So yeah, by the way, you can add a D10 to every charisma check for 10 minutes.
This is going to be terrifying.
All right. So yeah, let's. And I guess it's wisdom too, huh? Intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, I am attempting to be persuaded.
Mhm.
Church, how do you wish me to counter persuasion?
I would normally do wisdom.
All right. So,
Yeah.
beat that natural. So I'm not even going to need to add the thing.
No.
But I'm going to come right back with an intimidation and say, anything you're particularly worried about? A dead man having said to me? I'm going to add that D10 just because I can.
Okay.
36.
36.
Oh, jeez.
We are reaching levels of Munchkinry
Yes.
heretofore unseen.
Yes, we are.
Jimmy is looking downright demonic himself, summoned from the underworld to scour the truth from this land.
Aided by actual spirits that Bryn has just summoned. So yeah, that doesn't shake Lady Allure. I don't know what does.
Let's see.
There are way too many teeth in there. I can tell you right now, that's not a normal number of teeth.
She backs down. She's not afraid. She looks a little more frustrated than anything, but she backs down and kind of goes quiet, and humps a little bit, and goes back and resumes her seat.
I don't know what that bird did, but I feel good. I feel
Harumph.
good.
Harumph.
Let's have a chat with that guy in full plate. Jimmy's antsy now. He wants to work the crowd.
All right. So you're going into the dining room. He's still sitting where you left him, drinking. The dining room, once again, lavish, immaculate tile, beautiful carpets, tapestries on the wall, a large statue of some type of knight over in the corner, and another sculpted mantle over here in the corner. He looks up at you, just bleary-eyed, kind of bloodshot, half drunk,
Gotcha.
unfriendly as all get out.
Right. Jimmy is accustomed to speaking to the drunk. He modulates his voice carefully because he's expecting a little bit of, like, noise sensitivity, given how far deep this guy probably is. He's probably got the simultaneous hangover and drunkenness, taking the hair of the dog approach. But, Lieutenant, can I have a moment of your time?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, I'm sure you have every choice, but I imagine you have a good interest in justice being brought for your brother's death, so if you choose not to help me, certainly you may. Big smile.
What do you want?
I just want to have a chat with you. I imagine you were close. You seem to have been a frequent visitor, and I'm just trying to work out who possibly could have the most motivation for his death. It certainly seems as if it's somebody that was here, and just between you and me, there's a few suspicious characters about.
Well, that's easy.
No, do tell.
It was obviously that bitch Lady Allura. He slams
makes you
down
say so?
another drink. Just money grubbing. The hell would she want to do with that old codger anyway? My brother was easily 5-10 years closer to the grave than most. And yet here's this high elf come down from up on high to lure him away from his riches. Surprised she doesn't have blood all over her hands anyway.
Oh, you know, those elves. I understand they live a little bit longer than the likes of us. She might have looked at him as a spring chicken.
She probably looked at him as an easy mark.
Well, that too, but, you know, having seen his lovely estate, having heard a little bit of the man himself, he seems to have been quite a power in his own right.
They've been together for a decade.
He may have been a bit less of a power then. I don't know. You tell me. Has he only recently come into his power and his wealth, or was he doing well even back then?
You never heard of my brother?
For this I have just the greatest of regret, but I am myself a fairly late arrival to Sigil. I don't know the local culture quite as well as most.
Actually, you said that Bryn knew of him. Like, would she know how long he's been operating in Sigil? Like, was he as well known and famous for the 30 years that Bryn has lived there?
Yeah. Yeah, he's been very well known. Equal parts hated. He was not well liked, just over time respected. Oh, we got raided.
So for that, Bryn will put her hand on Jimmy's shoulder and say, Jimmy, he was well known and famous for about that long.
Oh yeah. Thanks for the raid, their minstrel's tale.
You're coming in at the tail end of the show, but we'll try and keep it interesting.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all, really.
So, well enough. So even then, I'd expect a man like that to not be an easy mark. But some of us are weak in the heart area. Would you say your brother was a man like that? Yeah, a soft spot for romance?
Well, what man isn't? Especially at his age.
How old was he?
84.
84. Not a bad old age. Seems to have lived a full and successful life, though we may still, of course, mourn his passing.
None so much as me.
Nope. Always hits close, I'm sure. I'm told he was working on a big project here towards the end. Would you happen to have known anything about it?
Why would I know anything about that?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know the man myself, so I don't know if he was inclined to chat about work.
I never cared about any of that.
Just like to reminisce about old times while you're over?
No?
Sit around with wine? Share in the cellar?
I couldn't stand my brother. He was an asshole.
Oh. Why then spend so much time nearby, apart from creature comforts of the home?
Because he was an idiot.
I've seen his bookshelves. That's going to be a hard one to prove.
Read 1,000,000 books and still be an idiot.
Seems to have written most of them, honestly.
Makes no difference to me. Have you seen the people he surrounds himself with?
You've got me there. You've got me there. Getting killed is kind of the final proof.
Did you search Lady Allura for a dagger?
No, but even then it wouldn't prove too much. It's Sigil after all. I believe the maid had a dagger. Looked about to stab me with it.
Everybody's got a dagger.
Yep.
Bryn just shrugs and pats her own dagger that's on her hip.
Pay no mind to the sword. That's for work purposes.
So, almost as if... Whoa, we don't want to... moving everything here. Where is it? Oh. So, that's weird. Is that attached? There we go, okay. Oof. We're having some Roll20 technical difficulties. Bear with me 1 second.
It always does such interesting things.
I know. There we go. Alright. Let's try that again. So yeah, almost as if on cue, The door to the north there opens up violently. And a woman comes storming out.
Okay. Not one we've met before, I assume.
It's the cook.
Yes.
There you go.
Lucinda.
Lucinda comes storming out, rolling pin in hand. Well, I never. How dare you talk to the master like that? She brushes Tavarius out of the way, sending him flying, storming around the side of the table. She looks like she's about to bowl you over, Bren. She's stomping her way towards Darvold.
Bren steps out of the way to let her pass.
You too, Jimmy.
He's in full plate. He can take a cook.
She's about to bowl you over.
Yeah. I'll wiggle out of the way. I'll permit passage.
So she comes around.
Again, if you can take out a guy in full plate with a rolling pin, you deserve it.
She comes around just mad as hell. And she actually takes a swing at him. And connects.
Oh, earning that.
Jeez.
Earning that.
So she comes around that table with that rolling pin and just whack! Nails him. Actually sends him reeling for a second.
Alright, I'm sure that one felt good, but that's probably sufficient.
Darvold stands up, shakes it off, and pulls that rapier out. You just feel the temperature drop in the room when he does.
Alright. Okay. Jimmy's interceding between the two. I'm here for one murder, not two. She got you good with that one, but I don't imagine she's getting back up after one of those. He's gesturing at a frostbitten rapier.
Let's see.
I'm gonna persuade him down.
Alright.
Say, come on now.
Don't forget to add that detail.
Oh, I won't. I will never forget to become completely unstoppable.
Alright, so he slams the rapier home and it's scabbard once more.
I turn back to the cook. Good hit. You gotta be real careful who you target with that. I mean, you do see the guy. If you don't put him down in one, he will you.
As you say that, she turns around and just kind of glowers down at you, almost like she was about to swing at you. She seems to be quite caught up in a rage.
Listen, I understand a little bit of anger as well as anybody. And you don't need to take my advice, but you might want to.
Little bit of anger. I'm the one that's out of job.
I'm sure Tavarius needs to eat.
Tavarius?
Actually, I'm not so sure.
Tavarius? I'll eat that little bastard. Come here, you little shit. She starts chasing after him. Tavarius is like, whoop!
He's gone.
Actually, he goes invisible.
Don't get the fancy tentacle flip like Brent does.
Yeah, no, I didn't set that up for him.
Nah, he just
Stab.
zoops.
She starts huffing and puffing. Turns around at you all. Dinner will be at 6. Storms back into the kitchen.
Now that's professionalism. I wouldn't have fed me.
Tavarius comes poofing back, nervous as hell. Darvold chuckles and takes another swig of his drink.
Jimmy, was that fur she had on her?
Not that he saw. Church, would you like to correct me?
She does have
Act-
she does have fur on her. She's
Hmm.
she's a tiefling.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell from the pop-up picture.
She's a tiefling with more stag-like horns than the traditional devil horns.
Yeah, the ears and legs gave me very, like, heavy fawn vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a weird tiefling. You know how I do tieflings, though.
Oh yeah, you like the interesting ones.
The OG way, and I respect that. I made a unicorn tiefling after all.
Exactly, exactly. Much more interesting that way.
Yeah.
Well. She can be... If I interrogate her now, we probably won't get to see what dinner's like at 6. Maybe we wait.
She did clock Darvold.
She got him good.
6 points of damage with a rolling pin. Hell yes, she did.
Shocking. Through full plate.
Clocked him right in the head.
Rang him like a bell.
Reverb throughout the room.
But again, if you can't do it in one, don't do it at all. That's the rogue way.
That's a great introduction for the cook.
All right. Midnight has snuck up on us. I'm having a blast, but we might want to call it.
And I think Bryn stating, Jimmy, she has fur is a good way to end it. Good cliffhanger.
That works. That definitely works. We can definitely do that. I think we got some good progress tonight. Good introductions. Kind of, we've met pretty much all the players, the suspects, as it were, for our little whodunit. A little bit of the layout of the house. Still some things not seen. I do want to thank Minstrel's Tale once again for the raid. That's great, guys. I appreciate it very much. We'll try and repay the favor. And of course, all you guys, my players, thank you. Great session. I hope you're having a good time with this new chapter.
Lovely one. Thank you so much for running us through it this evening.
No worries, no worries. We'll be back in 2 weeks to pick back.
Not 2 weeks. 2 weeks is Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
Gotta be careful with that.
That's right. So in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, we'll be doing something.
Something. It might be
maybe Christmas stuff.
Might be another Christmas adventure like we did last year.
I mean, I'm fine with doing like a Christmas session, but it is December 25th. I mean, people may got things with their families.
Oh yeah, no, the real life first. That's our rule here. I know last year Wilhelm did the Christmas Carol, and that was a lot of fun.
That was a good one.
But we'll figure that out. And I know, of course, next week we're back to the world of Cairn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Island of the Lost.
Definitely the next Sigil campaign will be on January 8th in the new year, though.
Very true. Very true. Don't miss it. We'll all be back for that. With that being said, for those of you who have tuned in, will tune in, are tuning in, thank you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. And good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Happy holidays. Night.